Unplugged.
Do you love waking up early in the morning, struggling to figure out what to do with your hair? We've all had our share of bad hair days. Are you ready for a change? Lock it and love it with Lock and Love Salon, conveniently located at 8117 Liberty Road, Windsor Mills, Maryland. Start your lock journey today. Lock and Love's professional services and artistic designs will keep you blazing in the hottest trends while maintaining and protecting your hair. Honey, Lock and Love is an experience. Once you try Lock and Love Salon, you won't try anyone else. Lock and Love offers starter and maintenance locks, fox locks, detox, shampooing and conditioning, lock treatment, lock extension, coloring, and much more. Sorry, but Lock and Love doesn't accept walk-ins. What are you waiting for? Call 410-970-3791 to set up your appointment today. Lock and Love is on Facebook, so remember to like, follow, and share.
Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. Yes! It's Tuesday. Let's go. And I'm so excited to be here right on T.R.I.V.A's Inspirational Radio Network. That's right. I'm your girl, Chanelle Coleman Wesley. And this is the episode of Unapologetically Unplugged with your girl, Chanelle Coleman Wesley. So I'm excited about our conversation on today. First thing that I want to say to you is, honey, love the skin that you are in. That's right. Love the skin that you are in. I don't know about you, but it is Black History Month, and I'm Black 365 days of the year, but it's just something about the month of February. I'm blackity black, black, black during February. Just know that. So I love this month. I love what it represents. I love our culture. I love our people. And I celebrate all people of all ethnicities and races and different cultural backgrounds. But honey, I love me some me, and I love me some us. And so I just want to say happy Black History Month to you. All right, so let's get ready to jump on into this episode. I just want to catch you guys up on some things that are going on new with me and the brand. But first, I got to shout out my girl, T.R.I.V.I.A. And if you guys are saying, you know what, hey, I have a product or a service, or I really have something I'm really passionate about, and I would really like to share this message with others, then I'm going to go ahead and challenge you guys to become a host on T.R.I.V.A's Inspirational Radio Network. That's right. You heard it from your girl first. That's right. Go ahead and become a host on T.R.I.V.A's Inspirational Radio Network. Why? Because you be able to make sure that your brand has some visibility, that you increase your reach, that you have the opportunity to connect with other like-minded professionals who are looking to get their messages and their services and their different brands out there. It's a great way to be able to put whether it's your books, your brand, or your information out for a global sphere, to allow people to see you, not just in your neck of the woods, but around the world. So again, make sure you guys connect and reach out to my girl, T.R.I.V.A. on T.R.I.V.A's Inspirational Radio Network, so that you guys can connect with her about pricing, so that you can be a show host. And another thing that you guys can do is donations. Donations help people to be able to keep great content like this on the air. And so if you're saying, wow, I really want to make an impact, what can I do? Again, I'm going to direct you to my girl, T.R.I.V.A. She's going to kill me for this, but go over and direct message T.R.I.V.A. so that T.R.I.V.A. can tell you how you can donate to the show. She has a website. Of course, she has Cash App. So direct message T.R.I.V.A. Payne, T.R.I.V.I.A. P-A-Y-N-E, T.R.I.V.A. Payne. All right. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, I want to talk to you guys about the things that are going on with Chanelle Coleman Wesley and the brand. She said yes to herself unapologetically, and of course, CC's Inc. I'm excited about the things that I've been able to accomplish over the last few months. Thank God for his wisdom and his grace, and for allowing me to connect with some amazing people. I'm shortly going to recap, My beginning of the year started off with a whirlwind. I'm a part of a dynamic organization titled Tina Marie and the Bridge Builders. That's right, the Bridge Builders Social Alliance Group. And so this is a group of just unapologetic sisterhood that's women of faith. We are about being able to uplift, to motivate, inspire, and also just to kind of inspire women to be able to go out and step out to be their best selves 50 and beyond. And it doesn't mean that it's exclusive to those who are 50 years and plus, 50 years or over, but they do also graft in younger members as well. And it's a dynamic organization that has allowed me to make an impact, especially in particular to the those who are populated in the Perryville correctional facility out in Arizona, out in Phoenix, Arizona. We've had the opportunity to make 2 visits over to their yard where it houses so many women there who are incarcerated from various things, from minimal security, which we this past January we were able to do minimum security. The last time we were there out in October, we did medium security, and so like I said, it was just made a dynamic impact on myself. Why? Because you never know what you do and how it's going to inspire or empower or encourage others. There was a woman there who was housed at that particular facility, and as I was going out and transitioning, she kind of caught me and she was telling me, thank you so much for coming. We were so excited because the last time that you guys came out here in October, the things that you all said, from on the other yard, they were rehearsing those things and going back and telling me, the other women, about the tips and the tools and the strategies that they were able to pick up from the bridge builders who were there in that space, and how there was a difference in the yard for many days after we were gone. They could still feel the impact. And so they were very hopeful that we would come out to their yard, and we had the opportunity to be able to do that in January. And so again, it was a dynamic event, being able to not just to pour into others, but to have information like that turn around and pour it back into you. And so it really made the women feel closer to one another as a sisterhood, but just closer to the women who were there as well. Why? Because we're not so different. And so again, it was a dynamic opportunity to be able to impact and motivate and inspire women. And so again, I'm definitely thankful for that opportunity. That opportunity came to us by our amazing organizer and leader, Tina Marie Fowler, who is the organizer and president, again, of this non-for-profit that's doing some dynamic things, not just in Phoenix, but Phoenix and beyond. So again, I love that we're able to share in that. And also, we did some things here locally in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. In case you guys didn't know, yes, we are in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and baby, it's cold outside, okay? And so we were able to do a women's impact event in December. And when I tell you it was everything, sis, it was everything. We had some dynamic speakers who were there to be able to help us to motivate, encourage, and empower women to be able to take those bold steps. This event, entitled She Said Yes to Herself, Unapologetically presents She Planted, She Watered, She Bloomed, Get Up and Go Girl. Women's Empowerment Luncheon. Yes, honey, I love me a good luncheon. And during this luncheon, we were able to connect with some dynamic speakers who were there to provide tips, tools, strategies for women to be able to know how to elevate to that next level. This event was inspired by my latest book entitled The Empower Her Blueprint, Strategies for Women of Faith on the Rise. That book is available over on Amazon. Right now it's just the ebook version, but we are planning to release a print version very soon. So I don't want to speak too much on that till things are just finalized, but definitely excited about that upcoming project being released as a paperback. So yes, but this book provided the inspiration for that event. And while we were promoting that event, let me talk about some of the ladies who were able to partner with this group and make it even more dynamic for that day of empowerment for women. So Ari Wells, who was my girl, you guys didn't know, you're going to find out today. Ari Wells was definitely one of our speakers. We had Millicent Driver. We also had DeRay Henderson. We had Brittany Draper, Dr. Latia Russell, Vanessa Moore. We have my baby, Tatiana Lee. She helped to be a co-MC on that day. She did a dynamic job. And all the ladies, when I said they came up and they ate and left no crumbs, they ate and left no crumbs. They were serving on that day. And of course, your girl, Chanelle Coleman Wesley, was definitely in the building. It was a day of healing. It was a day of inspiration. It was a day of uh, being able to see your best version of yourself, what God is calling you to do in this next chapter. And so again, a dynamic event. While we were promoting that event, we had the opportunity to go on our local TV, radio, when I see radio host show, Homer Blow. And if you don't know Homer Blow, he's a dynamic individual who's been impacting our youth here in the city of Milwaukee for decades. Your girl is 48, okay? And I remember listening to him coming up, his 16s and teenage years. And so he's been doing this, making an impact, not just on the radio, but in the community, doing different initiatives to be able to help to provide additional supports to families with children and to be able to provide a safe alternatives. Each year he does a birthday bash for himself, but instead of celebrating himself, it's like a party for the kids, and the kids get to come along, and there's prizes and toys and food and dancing and celebrating the whole nine, but it's based around the children. And so while we were there inside of the his studio recording, we're talking and we're going back, and so one of the participants from the panel, as we're explaining the events for the upcoming, at that time it was the upcoming events, one of the participants said, well, it's for people 18 and over. And so his question was, well, what about the children? And the entire time while we're talking and finishing up the interview, in the back of my mind, that's what's it's ringing. Okay, what about the children? And so, if you know me, I'm going to come up with an idea. So immediately, my mind says, okay, well, what about the children? Okay, let's look for the children. Let's go. And as soon as we go off the air, we're no longer live. We have this, expanded conversation about what that would look like and what it would take to put these things into place. And we were able to connect and network. We added a phenomenal childhood friend of mine, Samuel Thurman. He was added to the group as one of our partners. And we were able to grab some additional people to also partner and sponsor with this event to make sure that we made an impact for our youth. And this event was tailored for our girls ages 10 to 17 years of age. We wanted to have a youth focus. We wanted to give these girls resources, not just the tangible kind, which we did provide that. We had some phenomenal organizations like WellPoint and WestCare. The Oasis donated space. The Oasis Lounge here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We had Arlo, which is a Attentive Care residential living options. We also had I Am Blessed 69 Legacy, which helped to donate bags, specialty bags that we used for the event, to give the girls hygiene products. And we had people who were just like, okay, I'm going to show up. How can I show up for the young ladies? And it was just really inspiring to see the community go around and provide a covering for our youth, because so many times we're looking at things and we're wondering, well, what are our youth doing, or how did we lose a hold or handle on our youth? But we have to become more vocal. And I know for myself, I had a community who was around me who provided support. My family, of course, first and foremost, but also my church family and those in my school community and things of that nature. And so having those additional supports has made a positive impact in my life. And so we want to be able to pass that torch along to the next generation. And so being intentional about creating space for our young girls and for our young boys as well, to be able to take those next steps and to become into their best self. And so that's something that I'm just truly excited to be able to not just to be a part of, but to also be the organizer for these events and to be able to make sure that what we're doing is making an impact. And so I'm excited because that event has led to us doing some additional events. And so our next event, that's right, our next event coming up on our calendar as far as our youth are concerned is going to happen right here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on May 4th. It's going to have our youth in mind, our girls, but this time we're going to add on the moms. So it's going to be called She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically Presents Crown on Queen, Mommy and Me edition. So that means the girls get to bring their moms along. And if they're, let's say if mom isn't there for whatever reason, they're able to bring in their TT, their auntie, or their big cousin who provides that space. Maybe for somebody it's their older sister, or maybe it's a cousin, or maybe it's the godmom. I don't know, or maybe it's a guardian or a foster mom. But whoever is sharing that space and providing that additional layer of support for that child can be able to be there to be with that young lady on that day, to be able to help to push and propel her into her next best self. And so I'm excited about that. You guys are going to be hearing more information about this dynamic event that is coming up for our youth May 4th, 2025, right here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Babe, it's getting ready to go down. Don't meet me there, beat me there. If you know me, a time will be had. A time will be had. So I can't wait to share more details with you guys about that. What's coming up for your girl? But before I do, let's take a moment to pause and tell you what this episode who is brought to us today by these amazing two books right here. Yes, we're going to talk about them. This book right here is entitled Naked and Not Ashamed, the Transformational Devotional Experience. Yes. Because I don't want the reader just to read the book. I want the reader to experience, and I want her to be able to unpack and figure out how this thing applies to her. And so if you're wondering what this book feels like, it feels like looking in a three-way mirror, like looking at this angle, like, okay, looking straight on, like, okay, and then looking over here, like, all right. So that's what it's like looking into a three-angle mirror. And how do you look into a three-angle mirror? Why? Because I present to you a story from in the Word of God. You know, people like Hannah, like Bathsheba, Eve, talk about Lot's wife and other women in the Word of God, and we get some lessons and some reference points from her story, and then I parallel her story and park it right next to a period in my life that fits. And we get some insights and some additional context and think about it and say, okay, what can I learn from these two stories? And then we provide an aspect for self-work to allow that reader to be able to process and to unpack her own story, because sometimes we just live in life that we haven't even stopped to unpack our own story. If you know what I'm talking about, say talk that talk, sis, in the chat. Just put talk that talk in the comments. Put talk that talk. Sometimes you're so busy, trying to heal past trauma that you don't even think about all the things that it's taken and the steps that you've gone through, and trying to, not to repeat certain steps, and to be able to make sure that we repeat some steps that we saw, has had some success. And so that's what this transformational devotional experience is all about. It's not about just reading the stories, but it's about applying them to our life and seeing what can I gain from this? And so it gives the reader opportunity to look at her own story and to sit in her own story, but not to stay there, but to grow from it. I have this saying where I say, grow through what you go through. And that's important, because sometimes we can be in a situation and we can allow ourselves to remain stuck or stagnant in that situation, or we're trapped in that space and time, and we don't allow ourselves to heal. But if we allow ourselves to grow through it, and it doesn't mean that growth is always going to be pretty. Sometimes we think growth is supposed to be pretty. No, babe. Growth is ugly. It can be ugly. It can be difficult, but it's necessary. And what it produces on the other end is so rewarding, so impactful, just so worthwhile. And so most times, if we're honest with ourselves, even though we might not like the situation, what's become of it, or what's come after it. I had this talk while we were down in Perryville. I talked about, getting it out the mud and talking about plant life. And, I told this story about my father. He was a, consummate gardener. He was always gardening. He was always doing some things, trying to get the lawn to be that pretty green, lush, lawn. And no matter what my dad was doing, it just wouldn't grow. He was throwing the seeds and he was watering it and telling people, hey, stay off my grass. Hey, stay off my grass. And then my dad could be a little bit colorful. If you wasn't listening them times, he'd be like, he'd say some choice words to help you know to stay off his grass, because he meant that. And All these things were happening no matter what my dad was doing, dropping seeds. One year he put down some artificial grass, different things to get this look that he was going for. But it just seemed as if nothing was working. And no matter what he was trying, it just wouldn't work. And one year, my father went out and got cow manure and he had it placed on the lawn. Now, little me, I'm thinking my dad has truly lost it. Like he went and put cow manure on the lawn. Baby, picture this. Your girl is on the block with manure on the lawn. It was not a pretty sight. Funny thing though, that year my dad didn't have to tell anybody to stay off the lawn. They was just giving the lawn all the space and opportunity that it needed to breathe. And I was just thinking, like, I don't know what would possess my father to do this thing, but my dad knew something that I didn't know. And so, as time progressed, that lawn came out so plush. It had never been so green. It had never been so fine. The little grass was just waving in the air. Now, back in the day, I would run and play and roll around on the grass. But even though it looked beautiful, I wasn't going to run in the grass because I was still remembering, like, well, I saw what it had to go through to get on the other side. But you couldn't tell the grass that. It was too busy being unapologetic, looking beautiful, waving in the sun, and just looking like glistening. I said, my dad understood that, in order to get to where he wanted to go, it was going to have to go through some manure. And in life, sometimes you just have manure. Life is going to give you things that you don't want to deal with. I call them life cards. It's going to give you things that are going to give you a reset button. That's going to give you a refocus button. Something that's going to say, sit yourself down and just get your whole life together. And so having that experience, it taught me a lot. And so I just felt like I needed to say that. And that's what that is. And so real quick, this girl right here, this show today is brought to us by this amazing book right here entitled, She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically, The Empowerment Guide for Women. Ladies, this book is also available on Amazon, and it provides 21 transformational steps that will take women from waiting on it to walking in it. Now, some of y'all gonna say, what did she say? Yes, babe, I said this book right here gonna give you 21 steps, 21 actionable steps that will take you from waiting on it to walking in it, just like that. This book gives us some mantras, some things to know how to clap for ourselves. It's going to have that talk that's like, look, sis, let me get you together real quick. It's the kind of book that's going to help you to fix your crown without telling anybody else that the crown was crooked in the first place. It's that book that's like, come on, sis, we got mountains to climb. Let's go. Let's do this. You can do this. I can see you on the other side. And it's going to show you some glimpses of my story and some principles, things that I was able to learn. So many times, when we think about people's idea of success, or people like, reach a certain certain level, and I'm coming up from the plateau, we think, well, life could never look that way for them. But to me, I feel like an author's ability to be, very able to connect and to provide something that's going to be transformational is walking you through the mess or the manure in life and showing you, honey, it wasn't always pretty, but I had to grow through this in order to get to here. And if I wouldn't have went through this, then I would have never gotten here. So many times we're looking at, the best positions in life, and all we see is the palace. But, Joseph would have never been equipped to handle the palace had he not been to the pit and had he not been to the prison. It took the pit and the prison to get him to the palace. And sometimes we just want to fast forward and like, I'm at a palace mode, like skip. But life doesn't do that. It's like, you got to do the pit, and then you got to do the pit, then the prison, then you get to the palace. And that's how you get there. So you can't cheat the steps. You got to go through the steps. And so this book, again, is going to give you some actionable steps that you can take that will help you to be able to elevate and to be able to become that better version of yourself. And so, again, these two dynamic books by your girl, Chanelle Coleman Wesley, and on Amazon, your girl, Chanelle Coleman. Make sure you guys pick these books up. Hold on, it help if I got them on. Yeah. Pick these books up on Amazon. They are available both in Kindle and in paperback. And you know what? I'm thinking about going ahead and recording an audio book because I just feel like, I want to be able to have this book to be available, with various formats. And some people like to read, some people like to skim through, read it on a tablet or on their phone. Some people like to actually have a physical copy. And then some people like say, you know what, I have a lot going on in life. I would just like someone to read it to me. And so I'm definitely thinking about doing that. I'm just trying to catch up and see what's going on. But I want to say to you guys again, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. Um, if you didn't know it, it is Black History Month every day, all day for me because I'm Black 365 days of the year. But again, during the month of February, your girl is blackity black, 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 black. Okay? So your girl's feeling good. It is a Tuesday. I'm excited. Not only do we have a dynamic event, live event that's happening here in Milwaukee on May 4th, but we have a dynamic virtual summit that's coming up for young ladies, for women actually. You guys, this is going to be a dynamic summit. It's going to have insights. It's going to have transformational talks. It's going to have some breakaway sessions for those who do our VIP options. It's going to be an opportunity to connect and to be able to network. It's going to have all of the things. And I can't wait for you guys to hear more about it. We have some dynamic people who are already joined. I'm excited to get ready to talk about them in this upcoming ad campaign that your girl's getting ready to launch because it's going to be phenomenal. And this event is going to be for women who are ready to rise, women who are not content with where they are. They know that they have potential. They know that they have a calling on their life. They know that they could be pushing further in their purpose and how God has called them, and they want to take that next step. That's who this online virtual summit is for. People, women who are ready to take action. If you're just ready to sit on the sidelines, then babe, it's not going to be for you. But if you are ready to take action, then this thing is for you. Last but not least, we also have something coming up for authors. I'm excited. This will be my first time hosting and organizing an event that is solely for authors, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. I have some dynamic relationships that I have with various experts in the field who are going to be lending their expertise. They're going to be providing opportunities for people to be able to rise and to elevate with their message, to be able to talk about the things that we don't like to talk about, which is the business side of books, and to be able to understand that this book is a book business and that there are multiple streams of income that you can get from this book. Also, how to build your platform and to be able to conduct your brand and to be able to develop yourself in various aspects from your book, because your book can be used as a key to unlock different levels. And so those are some dynamic conversations that we're going to be having, and that's going to happen in April. I'm going to be releasing that information soon, but you guys heard it here officially first. I haven't told anybody. You guys are the first to know, outside of the experts that I've contacted, that this event is going to be happening in April. So I can't wait to release more information about that. Again, guys, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I hope your day has been amazing. And again, if you're looking to say, hey, I have a show idea, or I have a product or a service that I would love to be able to get in front of an audience that's global, to be able to share and to make an impact, that will have a solution for someone's problem, and I would like to be able to have a global reach with this, then I want you again to contact my girl, Trivia Payne, T.R.I.V.I.A, Payne, P-A-Y-N-E, Trivia Payne. She's with Trivia's Inspirational Radio Network, and this is a full-fledged radio station. So they got music. So make sure that you are following so that you can connect. If you're listening, you're like, I want some good gospel, some stuff that I can listen to and like get my work on, get my praise on. Like, what is it? Where is it at? It's at Trivia's Inspirational Radio Network. And if you guys are saying, hey, this is just some good content, I would love to be able to support you guys, to keep you guys on air. Make sure that you check out my girl Trivia. I want you to direct message her. Now, she didn't tell me to say that part. She's going to be mad at me about this part, but just disregard that. Go right on over to Trivia, direct message her, find out what her Cash App is. Next time I'm going to have it. That way I can have it scrolling at the bottom so we can tell you what Trivia's Cash App is and where you can donate live to her website so that you can help to keep content like this on the air. One thing that I do want to say about Trivia is this. She is totally selfless. She's always thinking about how she can support and how she can give to others. Even when she shouldn't, she is always thinking about other people. So do yourselves the service of making sure you donate to something that is worthwhile, something that has great morals, something that helps to be able to uplift, to be able to inspire, and to encourage people. Trivia's name is the Encourager. And it's not just named that for show, it's because she actually is an encourager. So make sure you guys go ahead and like everything Trivia's Inspirational Radio Network. And just like that, your girl is out of there. So happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. Make it a good one, beautiful people. And I'll see you next time.
Trivia's Inspirational Radio would like to inform you that the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in the following show are solely the sentiments of the participants of the show. Trivia's Inspirational Radio Network is not responsible for content. As always, thanks for watching and enjoy the show.